Hollywood. The sounds were a real horror show. You could sloosh the screams and moans, very realistic. And you could even get the heavy breathing and panting of the tall-chopping mouth chicks at the same time. And then what do you know? Soon our dear old friend, the red vino on tap, the same in all places like it's put out by the same big firm, began to flow. It was beautiful. It's funny how the colors of the real world only seem really real when you video them on a screen.
Your brain relaxing.
And now all the time I was watching this, I was beginning to get very aware of like not feeling all...
That's right, Mr. Jones, next Thursday. All right, see you then. Oh, hello, Mr. Z, how are you? You're looking much better. Are you doing aerobics? Is it that new Beverly Hills diet? Oh, macrobiotics.
Did you lose this?
Oh, thanks, that's mine. It's not yours, it's mine. What are you saying? What? Go to your therapy.
This is not good enough. I don't know what to say. I just want to do it. Oh, this is not bad enough. I don't know what to do. I just want to say it. Oh, this is too meaningful. Oh, I don't want to understand it. No. I just want to experience it. What the hell?
It has something that you don't have, Max. It has a philosophy, and that is what makes it dangerous. Dangerous.
What do you suppose we heard when we walked in the store?
Feel your brain relaxing.
Music. You say they're playing music in the store? What for? They figure if they play the right kind of music, you'll buy it.
Very soon now, the drugs will force the subject to experience midnight analysis.
And they're right. I talked to a man in Memphis, Tennessee just last year. He said this: I work for a company that supplies music to these shopping centers.
Just give him whiskey.
He said if the store has been using no music at all.
Welcome to voice print identification. When you see the red light go on, would you please state in the following order: your destination, your nationality, and your full name.
Our company will guarantee that store an increase in their sales if they'll use our music.
You number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6.
They've even got it worked out to specific tempos, specific speeds. They believe it creates a mild hypnotic effect.
Let your mind become a playhouse.
With me on the trip, and as I would read my Bible, the more I read about Jesus, the more I realized that none of these people that I was meeting really were even in the ballpark.
That's right.
To him, you know.
You know, it's incredible to consider the fact that millions of people are following some of those various Eastern gurus, and when you look at the society in which they live, they haven't even been able to help their own people.
There's a new, fresh vitality here in Germany under your great leader and Chancellor Adolf Hitler, of whom I'm a great admirer. The new Germany will live, for you have the best centralized government in the world today.
All right. Let us suppose that we have set the stage in which we can contact our basic self, our subconscious mind.
What? Yes. What? See? The little green light. When I look at that, I always feel sleepy. Makes me want to sleep. Sleep. I am your superior. Here are my instructions.
And video films I would. Where I was taken to, brothers, was like no cine I ever vidded before. I was bound up in a straitjacket, and McGulliver was strapped to a headrest with like wires running away from it. Then they clamped like lid locks on my eyes so that I could not shut them, no matter how hard I tried. It seemed a bit crazy to me, but I let them get on with what they wanted to get on with. If I was to be a free young Malchik again in a fortnight's time, I would put up with much in the meantime, oh my brothers. Piece of cine like was done in Hollywood. The sounds were a real horror show. You could slooshy the screams and moans, very realistic. And you could even get the heavy breathing and panting of the top-up Malchiks at the same time. And then what do you know? Soon our dear old friend, the red vino on tap, the same in all places like it's put out by the same big firm, began to flow. It was beautiful. It's funny how the colors of the real world only seem really real when you video them on a screen. Now, all the time I was watching this, I was beginning to get very aware of like not feeling all that well. And this I put down to all the rich food and vitamins. But I tried to forget this, concentrating on the next film, which jumped right away on a young Devochka, who was being given the old in-out. First by one Malchik, then another, then another.
This duality of
When
mind
it came to the 6th or 7th Malchik, leering and smecking, and then going into it, I began to feel really sick. But I could not shut my glasses. And even if I tried to move my glass balls about, I still could not get out of the line of fire of this picture. I want to be sick. Get something to be sick in.
Conscious mind directs and visits man.
Very soon now, the drug will cause the subject to experience a death paralysis, then with deep feelings of terror
and social consequences, but they leave no part of us untouched, unaffected, unaltered.
Described it as being like death, sense of stifling, drowning. And it is during this period we have found the subject will make his most rewarding associations between his catastrophic experience of violence and the violence he sees.
want to stop? Well, you just go ahead. Go on. Please do. In mental hospitals. Go on. I'm going to be sick. They call it psychotherapeutic. I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. Please let me get out. You want to get out? You listen to me. You want to get out? You got to do something for me. Here. Here. Is that you? Well, I want you to lick it. Lick it.
And oh my brothers, would you believe your faithful friend and long-suffering narrator pushed out his red yazzik 1.5 miles to lick the Grasny-Vonny boots?
And again!
The horrible killing sickness had whooshed up and turned the light joy of battle into a feeling I was going to snuff it.
And
Who are you?
Who am I? The whole atmosphere grew more and more hysterical.
Who are you?
He was interrupted nearly after every phrase by big applause, and women began screaming.
It's getting smaller and smaller. So small you can't see the whole butt. You are very small. Extremely small.
Obscure the fact that there aren't meaningful choices at all.
Exists. So, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Containing quartz crystal is activated by a variable electromagnetic field from these high voltage condensers here. The crystal emits ultrasonic sound waves which are bounced off the parabolic reflector here. The focal point of the reflector can be seen
with the universal light.
here by use of light. I will now demonstrate the molecular turbulence of the
reliable to one another as persons, as groups, as organizations, as corporations, as nations, as a planet.
That is correct. That is correct. When will you become realize your bigness of existence? That is correct.
The ultrasonic beam is capable of penetrating, whereas
That
the
is
light
correct.
is not. Now,
Given
the current concern is to locate the link point of the frontal lobe. To do this, we turn to a low voltage rating and, so to speak, feel our fatal point into place. We have now located the medial aspect of the left motor end. 3 centimeters in, 1.5 centimeters up.
Go all the way.
0.45 centimeters right. 0.023 centimeters down. 0.0015 up. Hold the horizontal. Right. ultrasonic beam is now focused on the exact midpoint of the frontal lobe. Lanolin barrier to minimize external cell breakdown and subsequent scar tissue. Relaxant to diffuse muscular reaction. Now to step up the voltage until the ultrasonic bombardment causes permanent dislocation.
Thank God you're all right.
I have something to do.
Gee, Helen, I'm sorry I'm late. Something strange happened. Something very strange. I was standing in the plaza.
Never mind that. But you are disturbing your children. Their meals are to be consumed.
Communism is good.
I don't blame you for being sore, but I'll make it up to you. Tomorrow night we'll have an early dinner at the steakhouse. Then we'll take the kids to the drive-in movie.
That would be quite impossible. Tomorrow night you've been selected to address the Parent-Teachers Committee.
What?
Communism
Hey,
is
they don't want
good.
me. What would I talk about? How Jimmy's team lost the Little League championship last year?
Subject of your address has already been selected for you. The theme will be how the new communistic life benefits children.
Wait a minute. What if I don't want to talk about that? What if I don't want to talk at all?
I would advise you not to object. Recently the party learned that you were on the debate team while in school. They were very disturbed that you kept this fact a secret from them. Experienced speakers are needed by the party.
Communism is good. Communism is good.
Sergeant, check the kitchen. You look in the back. I'll be upstairs.
Hey! What is this? Where do you think you're going?
We have no time for explanations. Already we are 15 minutes behind schedule.
I don't care who sent your why. You're not going to take another step until I see your warrant.
Warrant? We need no warrant. As a member of the Young Communist League, your daughter has volunteered for farm work. She's to be transported immediately. The truck is waiting outside.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get something straight. You say my daughter volunteered?
That is correct. Here's her signature. Requesting transport to the People's Collective.
Signature on that piece of paper is false. And everything you've said is a lie because my daughter would never leave here of her own free will.
Communism is good. Communism
Go
is
right to the
good.
house. I'm going to give you just 10 seconds to get out of here.
Daddy? It's true, Daddy. I did volunteer for farm work.
Linda, why?
The party convinced me that I should free myself of the lingering bourgeois influence of
Communism
family
is
life.
good. Communism is good.
I'm ready. Do not interfere.
Communism is
It
good.
is for my own good.
Communism is good.
Do not think that your deviationist remarks shall be overlooked. They will be reported to the proper authorities.
Helen. The kids get off to Sunday school all right? Well, it's a beautiful day.
Communism is good.
Why don't we all pile into the car?
Communism is good.
Hey, what is this? Someone going on a trip?
You could call it a trip. Actually, the children are going away to a state school.
Now, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I don't know what's happened to you or what they've done to change you, but you're not going to send these kids away.
Oh, she's not sending us away. It was our idea. We learned in school that home life is not
Communism
safe
is
to
good.
as the collective character which the
Communism is
party wishes
good.
to develop in its young people. It's your fault. You should have spent more time training us to think along party lines. As a member of the Young Pioneers, it will be my duty to report you.
You better listen to me. All of you. I don't want to hear any more talk about state schools and party lines and collective character and deviationism. It's going to be a family again, and I know just where to start. You two are going to Sunday school, and you're going right now.
Mommy, tell us!
No use to argue.
Mom!
This time, I'm going to overrule the party. Come on.
Dad!
They've been poisoning the kids with those lies long enough. Now
Communism
you're
is
really going to find out
good.
the truth is all about.
Communism is good.
We tried to tell you, Dad, but you wouldn't listen. There is no more Sunday school. Please take us home now, Daddy. Everybody's looking at us.
Mistake. Somebody made a big mistake. Come on, we're going to get this straightened out right now. Come on. Come on inside. Come on, Jimmy.
Comrade Donovan.
Communism is good.
Comrade Donovan, do you know why you're here?
Communism is good.
Of society here.
Yes.
It isn't even a matter of suicide anymore. It's more of a matter of shared extinction.
Less, I'm afraid, unnecessary.
Beware. You still live in an island of
communist government. Being an enemy of the state, you must be liquidated.
Guard it.
I have been commissioned to carry out your sentence.
Preserve it.
That's no
Cherish
fighting.
it.
I'm afraid not.
Because there are evil forces out there waiting.
You are
I'm at the
hereby granted
forefront
one
of
final
fighting
chance
for
to
evil
let your
forces.
crime.
But
If you
they're
wish,
to
the
be
recording will be
respected.
summoned to take down your
That's
statement.
all.
I have a statement to make, all right, but you can deliver it. You just tell your government that someday its own people are going to get wise to it. Someday there's going to be enough holes in that iron curtain that all of your people will be able to escape to freedom. They'll never be able to build a wall strong enough to hold them. My own countryman once said, you can't fool all of the people all of the time. Believe me, you communists can't keep fooling the entire world. You can't even keep fooling your own people. Because the news about communism is getting around. That it's only another word for slavery.
Unmutual. Social conversion for number 2. The unmutual.
Number 86 has a confession that number 2 is unmutual.
Unmutual.
Look at it. An unmutual who desires to deceive you all. Your welfare committee is the tool of those who wish to possess your minds.
Unmutual! Unmutual! Unmutual!
You still have a choice.
Number 2
You
is
can still
unmutual.
salvage your right to be individuals, your rights to truth and free thought. Reject this false world of number 2. Reject it now!
He's going to school. Some grown-ups have to go to school, as well as children. Isn't that so?
But they took him away and he didn't want to go.
He's no different from all of you. You sometimes don't want to go to school. With grown-ups, it's the same. Just the same as with children. Would you like to visit him? He has a holiday in a few days.
But Mom says Dad's gone away forever. He has a vacation?
Sorry, but your mama misunderstood Johnny. She's wrong. After all, everyone who goes to school has a vacation. That's fair, isn't it?
I can see him? Honest?
Of course. Your daddy has to go back to school a little. He had some strange thoughts, and he wanted other grown-ups to believe them. It's not right for others to believe wrong thoughts, is it?
Well, no. But my dad never thought anything bad.
Of course not. I said wrong thoughts, not bad thoughts. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's right to show grown-ups right thoughts when they're wrong. Isn't it?
Well, yes. But what wrong thoughts did he have?
Just some grown-up thoughts that are old-fashioned. We're going to learn all about them in class. Then we can share knowledge. And I can learn from you as you will learn from me. Shall we?
Well, sure. But my dad couldn't have any wrong thoughts. He just couldn't. Could he?
I like to compare the conscious mind with the captain of a ship. He is the absolute master. The subconscious mind, however, is like the crew of the ship. It must obey the orders of the captain. Or let's have another analogy, that of a farmer and the soil. The farmer plants a kernel of corn and the earth obeys.
It goes beyond fear of pain. Death is unendurable, and it varies from individual to individual. It may be very alive or castration.
Remember your voice.
In your case, is that?
It's coming from a different part of your ears. Remember your own voice.
You will do what is required of you.
It's coming from a different part of your nose.
In the prototyping areas, they will attack a baby, and within 5 minutes, it will drown.
Like a small...
They also attack the sick and die. They show astonishing intelligence in knowing when a human being is helpless.
Remember what you see. It's all too clear.
The mask fits over your head, leaving no edge. I press the first lever, and the rat moves into the front of the bus.
Share that belief of
I press the second, and the door will slide up.
Contrary.
Starting loose will shoot if you like
It's
it.
funny, I thought,
Have you ever
well,
seen a
he's
rat?
talking all the nonsense I know, the nonsense he always talked, but
They release
still,
onto your face and bore straight into it.
I feel it must
Sometimes
be
they attack the
wonderful
eyes
just
first.
to jump into that bubbling
Sometimes they start with
pot
the cheeks.
and remember
Feel your brain relaxing.
And they said in every case, when a patient got worse, the musician had to work in his personality and
I accuse myself of the following crime. I seduced party members with low spectrum. I deal with the proletarian areas. I deliberately contracted syphilis in order to spread the disease to my wife and other party members.
completely different response. The conclusion is what I want you to get. The conclusion of the study was this. What the musician believes affects the listener, even if the musician never says a word. Funny animals. What the musician believes affects the listener. That's not supposed to happen. Music has a mental effect.
Responsibilities are a privilege, an inherent American right, the strength of our nation. The bright hopes of a free world are founded on the dedication of individual Americans, people who guarantee freedom by standing ready to fight against aggression, against the communist attempt at world enslavement. Freedom is not hereditary. It must be earned. Freedom has a price, and its price is vigilance.
Its price is responsibility, not only of government, but of every citizen who salutes our flag. Those who serve as a part of our nation's armed might, and those who have served, they guarantee freedom's continued existence. Freedom, no single word in all the languages of mankind has come to mean so much. Freedom to enjoy the simple things of life in the circle of family and friends. Freedom to work at a vocation of our choosing. To vote in open elections for the candidate we believe best qualified. To come, to go, to please. Freedom to own property. To enjoy the priceless heritage of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To marry, raise a family with belief in the dignity of the human spirit. To study in the field of our choice. To speak our beliefs. To worship God. These freedoms that spell America. They represent a way of life that has become the farthest advancement of mankind on this planet. To prevent communism from consuming the entire free world, there stands but one man. That man is you.
What the hell?
What the musician believes affects the listener, even if the musician never says a word. Music has a mental effect. They have made these folks their idols. They have followed their thought processes. They've listened to their music until they've been saturated with it. No wonder they fight with the police. No wonder they rebel against everything. I want to take just a couple of minutes here, and I don't want to take long. No wonder they rebel against their parents. No wonder they don't want to obey in school.
To my wife, who was frightened, there is absolutely nothing to be frightened about. And to my friends who were frightened for me, they thought something would happen. There was no hypnotism. There was no chance that I was hypnotized.
I was very interested, and I wanted to receive this knowledge because it seemed like, you know, it's got to be something special. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making such a big fuss about it. And so, when he started talking, when this orange-robed Indian man with shaved head came into the room, it was like he was like, you know, and you just knew, oh my God, this is it. And to me, it was like, this is the moment I've been waiting for all my life. And I wanted, you know, I wanted whatever he had.
And then he goes around and he asks each one of you, are you ready to receive the guru? And you start going through changes, right? Some people said, you know, no, I'm leaving now, and they split. Each person that split made you a little bit tighter. If I can get away with this, right, which was my feeling, you know, don't let me be the one that's cast out. Then he goes around the room and he casts people out.
As soon as somebody's eliminated, and you're not eliminated, you feel like, oh, hey, well, chosen. You know, it's really a heavy feeling, you know, like the whole club trip. I mean, some people freaked out. We told them they weren't ready. Put them through heavy changes. You know, people who thought they were ready. But that finally gets all over with, and he starts giving you the knowledge.
I can just tell you that the techniques are so simple, and they wouldn't possibly work without Guru Maharaji's, without him making them work. And I could see where it would do harm if you just published it. It would do harm. It would do no good.
So we should pledge. Isn't that next? Let's pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Just a moment, children. What does pledge mean?
These sort of pleasure are going to do something, like not suck your thumb, because that makes your teeth bend and you'll have to wear a brace, like my big sister Susan, and go to the dentist, which hurts.
Very good. Very, very good, Nicole. Pledge means to promise. And allegiance? I think it's quite wrong for you to have to say something with long words in it if you don't understand what you're saying.
You men should realize your good fortune. Now that you have been liberated by the People's Volunteer Army, for you, the fighting is over. You are not soldiers anymore. No more take orders from those who lead you in this unjust war. No more orders from officers. No more military rank. Anyone who used rank on you, you let us know. We're your friends.
Once you were brought to a place like this, home seems a million miles away. You're in enemy country, at the enemy's mercy. At least that's what the enemy wants you to think. He wants in every possible way to make you feel alone, helpless, friendless. The enemy knows he must first of all break down your military discipline and your sense of unity and comradeship with each other. In Korea, the enemy told all prisoners they were equal. A sergeant first class was just like everyone else. Prisoner no class, they said.
Sergeant? No more sergeant. Everybody same thing.
Cigarette? Good American cigarette. Not Hong Kong made.
Because the subconscious mind follows the orders of the conscious mind
give this
implicitly,
necessary information to the captor. But he may spend 15 hours, or 15 days, or 15
it
weeks
has been called the willing
trying to make you
helper,
talk more.
willing servant.
Talk about what? Military.
It's the music that has encouraged them to do as you please, live your own life.
What equipment
Nobody
you
can
had.
tell you what to do.
What your mission was. What kind of training you had. But when you refuse to talk about military matters, that's not the end of it either. They want to know all about you as an individual, almost from the time you were born. Now the theory is, information is a weapon they can use later on against you or your buddies.
Look at your ceiling.
Want to talk about your outfit? It is no matter. We know all these things anyway.
Remember that spot?
But since you're here,
It's spinning.
it is a good chance for us to get acquainted.
in slow motion.
You know,
You can see it spinning.
before this war begins,
What a
I was
wonderful little spot.
much better than to be in war. But
Look at that spot. Focus it.
what kind of school you go to?
It make you feel like you wanna go far,
Where was it?
far away. Maybe somewhere that
I believe you said you come from
before in another life,
Pennsylvania?
but you're not sure.
Now he didn't say Pennsylvania. He didn't say anything. Because he knew that if he answered just one question, it would be one too many. If a prisoner doesn't respond to the friendly approach, the interrogator will often change his tactics. Like this.
I'm going to give you just one last chance to start answering some questions.
My house. You know where it is. Just follow your feeling. Remember,
See if your memory is any
little
better.
spot.
Stand up.
Dr. Z. Never wrong.
I just pay attention. I have wasted enough time on you. Do you know what to do to men who won't cooperate with us?
All with your body.
Would you like to find out?
This sort of threat is standard procedure. Besides laying a gun on the table, the interrogator says he has worn out his patience. Well, the one thing an interrogator always has plenty of is time and patience. He's in no hurry at all, no matter what he says. Of course, he wants to break down the prisoner as quickly as he can, but if the man won't break easily, he's prepared to keep at him for a long, long time, until he is convinced the man won't break at all. Only then will he leave the prisoner alone. In Korea, our prisoners of war encountered something else, too. Something entirely foreign to anything in our experience.
Christianity is stupid.
For the first time, the enemy tried to subvert it,
Christianity is stupid.
tried to make communists out of good Americans, tried to make traitors
Christianity
out of
is
American
stupid.
fighting men.
All the world knows that this war has been started by the imperialist Western powers, including the United States of America. Of course, I do not mean the ordinary people of your country. It is your ruling class, the rich bankers, the Wall Street warmongers who profit from the manufacture of planes and guns and bombs. They have started war to line their greedy pockets. I do not say you men are responsible for starting war. We know that the ordinary people of your country want peace, just as we do. So why do you fight us? Today, we have chance to let your true feelings be known without fear. You can become fighters for peace. First, you will all sign this petition to let the world know we have joined with the ordinary people all over the world who want peace. All right now, everybody will sign here at this table. I say, everybody will sign.
John's thinking in his research on Jonestown was that it's the same population of people that
You there.
at that time.
Come and sign.
Brought into the People's Temple and eventually ended up in Jonestown.
By this point, they had gone beyond the early goal of trying to use different combinations.
Stay where you are. Gone. You're gonna look here. Back. Everybody listen to me. Sit in your position and listen to me.
One of the major points is to create mind-controlled assassins that operate on the land. And then memory of who was controlling
Delgado, one of his first displays of his ability to control electrical waves in the brain, he implanted one of his, what was called a stimo receiver in the brain of a bull. And he got in the middle of a bull ring in Spain and waved a red flag, and the bull was charging at him. He pushed a button and the bull stopped in his tracks about a foot away from goring him. It was a fairly dramatic display of what he felt he could do. Later, when refinements were made, the same kind of device that he used, that used to be fairly large, maybe an inch by a half inch or so, was reduced down to where it was smaller than a human hair, and so implants are made much easier in that respect. He said later that his implants could be used to start an emotion or lift a finger or drop in a word in somebody's mind by remote control.
I talked to prisoners in Attica who had been implanted, many of the prisoners who acted up politically there. This was just prior to the riot in Attica and the response to them. Prisoners who resisted politically were taken across the wall to the state psychiatric institution in that area of New York, and they'd got many of the early transponder implants, which is one of the names given to these radio and electronic control devices. At that point, they were discs about the size of a 50-cent piece that were implanted into the wrists and into the brain. And prisoners I spoke to reported people coming back from the psychiatric institution with these things implanted, who would sit up from a dead sleep. They could be awakened on command. They would eat on command. They would go back to sleep on command. They would even speak after electronic jolts visibly affected them, and then stop speaking. So there are apparently many, many functions that once they had them in, that the different radio electronic signals could control.
It won't hurt you. You might catch yourself sliding in and out of a hallucinatory state after this is all over. If you do, just relax and enjoy it. It'll soon go away. But for now, I think that you'll find a little S&M will be necessary to trigger off a good, healthy series of hallucinations. That's why our Videodrome show is so strange. Something to do with the effects of exposure to violence on the nervous system. It opens up receptors in the brain and the spine, and that allows the Videodrome signal to sink in.
You mean I'm gonna have to hurt you, Barry?
Afraid not. You don't have to actually hurt anybody. You just have to think about it.
Whoa, that's too bright. I can't take it.
Yes, I forgot. Sorry. Shit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we're rolling. The taping mechanism is all self-contained. You don't have to do anything now but hallucinate.
Yeah, okay.
I'll come back for you later. You'll forgive me if I don't stay around to watch. I just can't cope with freaky stuff.
Secretary, if it's extremely dangerous,
Open up, Max. Open up to me.
Hundreds of us here are so extremely happy. I wish I could describe the whole thing to you, but it's hard. But I just want to say this. I can't help but say that none of this would have been possible
I've got something
had it
I want
not
to play
been
for
for
you.
Jim Jones. I bet you did. You have slightly made it away from us. Oh, my God!
It can be a giant hallucination machine and much more.
Now, close your eyes and concentrate on my words.
People, at 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. Because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, popes, prime ministers. This tube is the most awesome goddamn force in the whole godless world. And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. And that's why woe is us that Edward George Ruddy died. Because this company is now in the hands of CCA, the Communication Corporation of America. There's a new chairman of the board, a man called Frank Hackett, sitting in Mr. Ruddy's office on the 20th floor. And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force in the whole godless world, who knows what shit will be made up for truth on this network? So you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business.